Alright, hello once again, welcome back. This is Jeff Scott of Rankin Technical College, and we are going through the Rankin Technical College Summer Adventure Academy, and I'm talking MIT's App Inventor 2. So far, we've had an introduction to App Inventor 2. We've looked at 3 different iterations of going to eventually our All-American project, which had 3 buttons on it. When we click the red one, our background color turned red. When we click the white one, our background color turned white. When we click the blue one, our background color turned blue. Then we did our Boy Who Cried Wolf, where we had 2 buttons, one that said Cry Wolf and one that said Just Kidding. And we put an image on there with a boy who cried wolf. And when we clicked the buttons, you saw and heard the text-to-speech, which was kind of rah type of thing. It doesn't sound real good. So for this third project, we're going to clean that up a little bit. And we're going to have our Hello Kitty Doggy. All right. So let's go back in. And we will come in and do a project. Start a new project. And we're going to call this, what did we say we were going to call it? Hello Kitty Doggy. Okay? So this will be our third project. All right. So as we start, why don't we do this first? Let's jump out to Google Images and let's find a kitten and I want to find kind of a smaller one. That looks pretty good. I actually like to find 2 of them that are the same size. They say in life people are cat people or dog people, and I'm a dog person. So well, that's really big, but I'm going to try that one anyway. So save link as, I'm going to call that, I don't want to save the link, I want to save the image. Save image as, we'll call that kitten.jpg. Kitty.jpg. Alright, puppy. And I like to have them be about the same size if at all possible. There's a 1200 by 1200. Don't really like the picture that much, but it'll work. Again, I don't want to save the link as, I don't know why I'm doing that. Save the image as, and we'll call that puppy. Alright, and then let's come in here and have kittens and puppies playing. That looks good. That looks pretty good here, so let's save that image as, we'll call it kittens and puppies. Alright, so we now have our 3 images. Alright, and we're going to do this one, as mentioned, a little bit differently. What do I mean? Well, we're going to have a button for each one of these. And rather than putting the buttons, I'm going to just drag the buttons out one at a time. I'm not going to worry about an arrangement for this one. Let's do that. All right. So let's come to the first one here. Let's change the name of this one to Button Kitty. All right. We actually don't want there to be any text in this, so I'm going to remove that text. You'll notice when you do it shrinks way down, but that's okay. So we're going to come in here and we're going to say background image, but before we do, let's upload all of our images. So choose file. So we want to bring up the kitty. Might as well just bring them all up right now. There's the kitty. There will be the puppy. And then finally we'll have the two of them together. So kittens and puppies. All right. So now we can come over to here, and we've got it called button kitty, and let's change the image. All right, so there's that one. See, it's much bigger than I wanted it to be. So I can already tell I'm gonna have some problems here, so I might have to scale these. So the second one, we're gonna change the name of that, so we're gonna rename that one to button puppy. Click OK. Again, for this one, as mentioned previously, we don't need there to be any text, but we do want to put in, again, an image, and that'll be puppy. All right, so we've now got that in there, but we still have our last button. And right now, let's see, let's have this. Let's try using a percentage here for the height. Let's say 25%. That's going to look very squished, but I think you're getting the idea at least. How about if we make each one like 33%? A little better. We'll take this one and make it 33%. Okay, and we're going to take each one of these and we'll make the width fill parent. Okay, I realize that doesn't look really slick, for lack of better words, but that's okay. All right, for our last one here, again, we don't want there to be any text. We want the width to be fill parent, and we want the image to be kittens and puppies. All right, that one actually came out looking pretty good. All right, this just bugs me because they just don't look good. So let's do this. Let's go in and try to find a couple smaller images. That'll be the new kitty. What was it, 480 by 360? Definitely don't like the way that looks, but there's another one here that's 480 by 360. You know what, I don't want to waste anyone's time going through that, so we'll just use those. All right, now I'm going to keep the last one that I had, the kittens and puppies together. So we're going to jump back into here. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this. I'm going to delete this. And I'm just going to add them back again. Now you notice that that came back into here, and that's okay. So I'm going to upload a file, choose file, just like we did previously. Kitty. We'll upload again. Puppy. All right, and it broke the connection here, so I'm going to have to add these back again. So our image will go back to kitty. Looks a little bit better at least. And this one will go back to puppy. All right. Okay, well there's our end product. Whether you like it or not, that's still fine. All right. This time what I want to have happen is when we click on this, we want a purr or a meow, this one a bark, and this one both. Okay? Now I'm going to come in here and I'm going to go back to media, and instead of using text to speech, now I'm going to use sound, which is another non-visible component, so it comes in down here. All right? And you'll notice with sound, I never changed the name of that, so let's change the name of this to button kitty and puppy. All right. The sound, though, it's asking for a source. Well, I've got to go out there and get that. So, free sound files. All right, sound effects. This is just freesound.org. I don't know if this will work or not, but let's say kitten. So let's listen here. Well, I didn't hear anything. Kitten eating, kitten drink, kitten meows. That one will work. And that's a kitten purring, but it's very hard to hear. That's an evil. Let's try. We'll go back to this one. That's fine. Log in to download. I think I actually did become a member of this, but I'm not positive, so. It's telling me I have to activate my account first. Okay. One's a little less irritating. So I'm going to download that. So there's that one. And let's come in here and find a puppy. fine. Alright, so I've downloaded both of those, and they both went to my downloads folder. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy those over to here. And this one that says kitten meowing, I'm just going to call that kitten. And this one that's dog barking, I'm just going to call that puppy. Alright, so there are a couple of WAV files. Alright. Okay, so there's our app right now. So the first thing I want to do is I've gone in there and I've added my 3 components. I've changed the names. I've done some work with the properties, so I'm going to go over to my blocks editor. Alright, and remember these are all buttons. So when I click the kitty button, what do I want to have happen? Well, my sound I want to play. Alright, now the problem with that is I have to set my sound, because the sound will be one of 3 things. So let's grab that and take that out of here. What do we have under sound here? Set sound source. That looks good. Okay, so we want to set that, and then we want to tell it to play. But what we have not done yet is we have not uploaded those sound files. So again, we want to come over to Media, Upload, choose File, okay, and we're going to come down here, and where are they? Puppy Wave, so we'll add that. There it is. And Kitten Wave. Okay, so that's good. Now we can come in here and add what we want to have added. All right. Hopefully you'll realize might have made a mistake here. Okay, so this I want to be kitty.wave, and I like to, I'm to the point now where I think when we put in some code, rather than just copying it, let's go over to here, and let's let the emulator reset. In fact, let's reset the emulator ourselves. So let's reset the connection, connect to emulator. And again, as you know, this might take a second or so to happen. And once it comes up, let's click on the kitten and see if indeed we get the sound of a kitten. Alright, it's getting ready. Now remember, the middle button, which is our puppy, when we click it, nothing should happen. Our bottom button, which is our kitten and our puppy together, also nothing should happen right now. Okay? Unable to load kitty.wave. Okay, we'll have to fix that. Maybe I didn't call it that. I thought I did. Let's double check. It's kitten.wave, not kitty. That's not a problem. We go back in here, change that to kitten.wave. That should fix everything. Okay, so we've got that working. And that's a little irritating. Now we can go in and duplicate. And for this one, when our puppy is done, we'll want to play puppy.wave. All right. So come back to here. Now our kitty works and our puppy works. Now you may or may not have noticed, but what I want to have happen is I want to do this. I'm going to duplicate again, and I want this to be for my kitten and puppy. The problem is I want to play them both now, and I have only one sound component. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back into my designer, and I'm going to add or drop in another sound component. So now I've got sound 2. All right. If you don't understand why, hopefully you will after I go through the code with you in just a moment. So I'm going to go back to my blocks editor, and I'm going to change that from sound 1 to sound 2. All right. And now, sound 1, I want to be kitten.wave, but I can also now duplicate this. So notice the difference. When I click the button that looks like a cat, I'm telling it to set sound 1 source to kitten.wave and play it. When I'm doing the puppy button, I'm setting sound 2, so it's a different source, it's a different component, to puppy.wave, and I'm playing it. When I click the one with both of them on, then I'm setting both of my components. All right, so if I come back to here, you'll notice kitty, puppy, really is irritating. All right, and both. Okay. So again, what I tried to show you in this particular example is if we are so inclined, we can use buttons and make them clickable but put images on them. All right? So what we've done so far is we've come in here, we learned a little bit about AI, we did our All-American project, we did our Boy Who Cried Wolf project, we did our Hello Kitty Doggy project. Next we're going to go in and we're going to create a project called Rankin Plus. And what we're going to do is it's going to be a little bit different. What's going to happen is we're going to have 3 buttons and then a text box and a button, and then we're going to have a different kind of component that's called a web viewer component. I'll be back to show you exactly what I mean in just a couple minutes.